So today, to wrap up, Jasmine has agreed to ask me a few questions about leadership and my time here.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm super excited to be here today. And thank you, Mr. Rubenstein, for, of course, being here today and being amazing. Let's get straight into it. So you've had the opportunity to conduct leadership across many education systems, many schools in your past before, and also especially in ISB. So what does leadership exactly mean to you in this context?
Leadership is really about working well with a team, and a team that you can build trust in. And if I've had any impact during my time here, it's because I've worked with amazing people and had the opportunity to use their talents and their hard work to have impact for all of our community.
To put that abstract in a little bit more of concrete, can you give us some examples of perhaps some of your leadership experiences in ISB? Perhaps if there were any challenges, how did you overcome them, et cetera?
So I remember one time during COVID, we had gotten the entire employee community together online. So we're having this meeting, and we were talking about all the changes that we had to make the next day. So we were going to have all the students come in, and we were going to work on certain elements of the academic program. And it was around 12:30 on a Wednesday. And I'm halfway through explaining to our 450 plus employees about what we're going to do. And this note shows up while I'm talking and telling us that the government has canceled school for the next day. And so I had to sit back and tell all the employees, hey, forget about everything I just said. We're going to have to make a change. And it was incredible, the amount of understanding and compassion and planning. People had taken all these plans and they had to completely scrap them and go with something direction. So I think ensuring that our team understands that we're all in it together, we're all in it for a common goal, which is to serve the students and our community.
Mm-hmm. In that kind of crisis situation, what do you think was one of the most important qualities that you had to have, or like one quote that you continuously told yourself in order to push through that kind of tough time?
I think I like to always think of things, I like to think of myself as both having an active role, but also playing a small part in a larger story. And I like to make decisions thinking about, okay, what does this mean right now? But 5 or 10 years from now, will I reflect back and look at that decision in a positive way? Have I had positive impact? And that did I handle myself in a way that I can look back and feel good about? And that tends to give me a sense of calm in those moments.
So on the idea of like looking forward into the future and kind of like looking back as well and looking at some of the legacies and impacts you've made at ISB, if there is like one word or one phrase that you can use to summarize, or perhaps it could be one example, one event of your impact or legacy at ISB, what do you want it to be?
There are two places that I'd like to think that I've had some impact. One is during COVID, and coming out of that period was a pretty challenging time for the community, and bringing us back to a place where I believe the school is in really healthy shape. We've had one of the best openings that we've had in about a decade. Our enrollment is strong. Our faculty have never been better. Our reputation around China and around the world couldn't be stronger. And so we are in a great place, and I'd like to think that it was certainly the team that did that work, but as a member of that team, I'd like to think that that's part of my time here. And then personally, I'd like to think that that I'm someone that I hope our community has some trust in. And if I've done some work that has enabled the community to feel like I'm a person of integrity and someone who has supported the community in various moments, I'd like to think that that's my legacy as well.
Yeah, and I'd like to give a shout out to Mr. Rubenstein here, because it was through one of his leadership lunchtime opportunities where I first learned how to kind of orchestrate a panel or how to be confident in terms of speaking in front of a larger crowd. I hope you remember that particular session where we talked about how to orchestrate that panel, and I think that's one of the more concrete examples of how you personally impacted my life and a lot of the students who were also in that lunchtime session as well. Speaking of students, I want to ask something just personally for me. As a member of the class of 2027, what are some of your hopes for us as a class in terms of like being able to lead the school as the seniors at the school next year?
Well, I hope there are more students like you.
Thank you.
It's my honor and privilege to work with inspiring young people, and who, not everyone, I have a son who's your age too, and I could have given the same lesson to him and he wouldn't have listened. And sometimes it's important it takes a village to raise a community, to raise a child. And insofar that I've been helpful in your development, I feel honored to have had a small part in your story. You're going to do great things, Jasmine. And
Thank you so much.
It is a privilege to be part of that, even if just a little bit.
Okay. One last question. Let's end on a very personal note. If you look back years from now, what's one story or one fun moment of ISB that you think will stay with you?
So I love some of the traditions here. And after, at the end of my first year, I was told that there was going to be this bus waving goodbye and that we would all go out there. And I was super excited about it. And I got so excited, I decided that I would wear the long suit. And so I'd never worn it before. And so I put on the long suit and I got out there. And then I was very quickly reminded that Beijing at the end of June in a fur suit can be quite a challenging experience. But the young children kept on coming up and they were so happy to see Long. And it was so wonderful. And at the same time, I was dying in there. It was so hot in the long suit. But I really love that moment of both challenge and joy together. It felt like a real ISB moment for me. In some ways, that was the moment that I literally became a dragon.
And we hope that you would carry this memory even after perhaps you leave ISB and you move on to another school, another opportunity. And I think these are just one of the moments that we as a community also cherish as well. And we would really, really like to see you in a long suit again. I think that'll be one of the highlights of this year we'll look forward to. But yeah, let's have one more round of applause to Mr. Rubenstein.
Thank you so much, Jasmine.